Hi, today's topic I believe is a very popular one, but the question is, what about those who doesn't know about it? So today's video will be for those who doesn't know how to connect your condenser microphone, your studio monitors, your Midi controller into your audio interface and finally hook it up to your PC. So if that sounds very interesting, let's check it out. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Coinex. Today we'll be continuing from where we stopped in the part 1 series of step-by-step guide to becoming a music producer. So today will be the part 2 of that series, and here we'll be looking at how you can connect your gears to your computer, starting from the condenser microphone to the studio monitors to your MIDI controller into your audio interface and finally hook it up into your computer. So without wasting much of our time, let's dive right into it. We'll begin by connecting the studio monitor to the audio interface. Okay, so connecting studio monitor to audio interface is a very simple and straightforward procedure. All you're gonna need is your audio interface, this one right here. You're gonna need your USB cable, and this USB cable is what you're gonna need to connect the audio interface to your computer. Then you're gonna need an audio cable, a balanced audio cable, but right now my balanced audio cable is faulty, so it's out for repair. So I'm gonna use this unbalanced one. I'm gonna use this mono type of cable that has one ring, but I advise you to use balanced cable. That's the one that has double ring on it, and the reason for using a balanced cable is so that you don't get unnecessary humming noise on your speaker. The balanced cable helps to cut down those will I call it electronic noise, you know, those hum you get from your speaker. So it's advisable to use a balanced audio cable. And of course you need a power cable for your audio interface. And just to throw more light to what I said earlier, this is how a balanced cable look like. You know, it has double ring, a cap, a ring, and a sleeve. So this is that's the type of cable you go for your studio monitors. So now we're gonna talk about the audio interface. Over here I'm using Focusrite 18i8, as you can see there. That's the one I'm using. And before you start up with this procedure, make sure that the driver of this audio interface has already been installed and properly installed on your computer. So before you continue, the first thing you need to do is to connect USB cable like this. This end, you need to connect it at the back of the audio interface on this port right here. So when that is done, you now take the other end and connect it to your laptop. But remember to turn down the volume. Remember to turn this down, you know. So, and as you're doing here, also make sure that the volume on your studio monitor is as well turned down. And please avoid turning on these devices, these gadgets. As you can see, they are totally off. Now at the back of the speaker, just one moment please. At the back of the speaker over here, I don't know if you can see that very well. Yeah, that's the volume. Turn it down and make sure that it's not connected. When you connect your audio interface, the other end of the cable goes to your laptop. Once that is done, the next thing you have to do is to get your power cable. So you get it connected. As you can see, I just did that. So once that is done, the next thing is to plug it in. Just to add, all these gears that I'm using here, I'm gonna leave the links of where you can get them in the description if you're interested. So The next thing we're gonna do is to head to the socket to connect the sound card. Now the sound card is in. It's time to get our balanced audio cable. Forgive me for using this for this demonstration, but I had to make use of what is available. So all you do is to take one end of it. At the back of your sound card, you will see where it's written monitor output over here. So all you need to do is to connect it there. But one thing I must tell you is this, because it's two monitor outputs. There is two. One is for left and one is for right. As you can see, one is for left and one is for right. So make sure that the speakers are connected correctly, so that the speaker that is gonna stay on the right side will be connected on the right port, and the one on the left side will be connected on the left port. So the next thing we'll do now is to take the other end of the audio cable to the studio monitor. So as you can see at the back, we have an XLR port and we also have a balanced headphone jack port, if I may put it that way. So, and that is where I will connect it. So when you plug the other end of it to this port, the next thing you will do is to get the power cable, plug it in and connect it. So once that is done, you're ready. So I'm gonna recap. On your audio interface, at the back of it, you connect your USB cable, and the other end of the USB cable will go straight to your laptop. And before this, make sure that the driver for this audio interface is properly installed on your laptop. You can read up the manual on how to install the driver correctly. It comes with the audio interface. So after that, you get your audio cable, a balanced one. I've showed you how a balanced head looks like. It must have two rings, you know, it have a cap, ring and a sleeve, but two lines will be here. So you get it, you go at the back of your audio interface, you see two ports under the monitor output, and you plug it in. And once you plug it in, you make sure that you connect the speakers correctly. What I mean by that is make sure that the right speaker goes to the right port and the left speaker goes to the left port. The other end of the audio cable goes into the balance port on the speaker. When all these things are going on, make sure that your volume control is turned down, both on your studio monitor and on your audio interface. So when you've plugged it, the next thing you go for is your cable. You plug your cable in, and that will be it. When you plug your cable in, you connect the two devices to power. Then when you connect them to power, it's time to turn it on. So the next slide will be to test our connection and confirm that it's working perfectly well. So see you guys shortly. Okay, we are back to test out our configuration. So all I'm gonna do right now is to play a sound from the computer and see if our configuration worked. And as you can see, it's working. So that is to show that our configuration worked. So the next thing we're gonna be talking about now is we'll be looking at how to set up the condenser mic, the Midi keyboard. This is not gonna take much time. And before I forget, I used one speaker to do this demonstration because it's still the same thing. Whatever you do to one speaker is what you do to the other speaker. And don't forget to, when you turn on your speaker to test your output, remember to bring back the volume of your speaker back to normal. So the next that we'll be looking at is how you can connect your condenser mic to our to your sound card. And as you can see, the mic I have here for this demonstration is AT2020, Audio Technica 2020. So right now we'll go straight into it. This actually is not going to waste much time. I'll try as much as possible to make it short and simple. So now the next thing you do is to get your XLR cable. When you have this XLR cable, as you can see, one end of it has a pin, the other end has 3 holes. So the one that has hole goes to the mic, and be careful when connecting it. I'm going to connect this end. Okay, so as we've connected that end to the mic, we'll take this other end. This end goes straight to the sound card. Now, as you can see on the audio interface, it has 4 different ports, but I will just use one, and I'm gonna plug the mic here. When you are plugging it, as you can see, it has the same shape with what you're seeing on the sound card, so which is to say that you are to plug it like this, so I will do that quickly. Please remember to turn off your audio interface when trying to plug in anything. So now I've plugged it in, I'll power it on. And since it is not an ordinary mic, it's a condenser mic, it needs an extra power to be able to come on. So, and that is, as you can see here, there is an extra button there saying 48 volts. So when you turn it on, you're giving that extra voltage to power on the condenser mic. So whenever you want to record, you turn it on and you record. For example, if you are trying to record a guitar and when you plug it here, there is no need to turn on the phantom power. So this is how to connect your condenser mic to your audio interface. So let's recap what I just said. The first thing you need to do is, first of all, connect the other end of the mic, connect the cable, the one that has 3 holes, connect that end to your condenser mic. Then after that, connect the other end of the cord to your sound card, as you can see over there. So this is basically how you can connect your condenser mic to your audio interface. If you're using a condenser mic, remember to turn on the phantom power before you start recording. That will be it for connecting your condenser mic. The next we'll be talking about right now, which is the last, will be how to connect your Midi cord to your Midi keyboard and into the audio interface. So back to the final demonstration. As you can see at the back of the audio interface, we have a Midi port. On this particular type of audio interface, Focusrite Scarlett 18i8, it has Midi ports, one labeled the out and one labeled the in. So the major thing we need for this setup right now to connect your Midi keyboard into this audio interface is what we call Midi cable, and this is how it is. So how does this work? On your audio interface where it's labeled in, all you need to do is to connect one end of the Midi cable. So once you've connected it, the next thing you will do is to take the other end of the cable to your Midi controller. Now at the back of the Midi controller, you will connect the other end of the Midi cable to this Midi port on the Midi controller. So quickly, I will connect this other end of the Midi cable into the Midi port. But when you're doing it, be careful so that you don't spoil your device. Now it's in. We're gonna test it to confirm that it's working perfectly well. So I just powered on the MIDI keyboard right now and connected a virtual instrument in FL Studio, then trying to try it out. I'm gonna play something to see. You see? As you can see, the MIDI keyboard is working so well. That is to show you that our connection is very okay. So guys, that will be it for this part 2 in this series of step-by-step guide to becoming a music producer. I hope this helped, and if it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell for future videos. So stay safe, stay creative. See you guys in the next part. Bye bye.